If you're receiving care from a professional caregiver or considering hiring one, this video could be one of the most important you'll ever watch. What I'm about to share might be uncomfortable, but it could protect you from serious harm. The reality is this: not all professional caregivers have your best interests at heart. While the vast majority are caring, dedicated professionals, a small but significant minority may try to manipulate or take advantage of the vulnerable seniors they're supposed to protect. Recent studies show that 1 in 10 seniors experience some form of elder abuse, and much of this happens at the hands of trusted caregivers. Financial exploitation alone costs older Americans over $36 billion annually, and emotional manipulation can be just as devastating. But here's what many people don't realize. Manipulation by caregivers rarely starts dramatically. It begins subtly, with small boundary crossings, gradual isolation from family, or minor financial favors that slowly escalate into serious abuse. The good news? Once you know what to look for, these patterns become obvious. Manipulative caregivers rely on your trust, confusion, or isolation to succeed. When you're informed and alert, their tactics lose their power. Today, we're going to arm you with the knowledge to identify manipulation early, protect yourself effectively, and maintain your dignity and independence while receiving the care you need. This isn't about becoming suspicious of everyone. It's about being smart, informed, and prepared. You deserve care that makes you feel safe, respected, and valued. Never vulnerable or afraid. Whether you're currently receiving care, considering it for the future, or worried about a loved one, the information in this video could prevent serious harm and help you maintain control over your life and well-being. Your safety and dignity are not negotiable. Let's make sure they're protected. Understanding the different types of caregiver manipulation helps you recognize them before they escalate. Manipulative caregivers typically use one or more of these tactics. Financial manipulation is the most common form. This starts small. Maybe your caregiver offers to pick up groceries and keeps the change, or suggests you tip them for extra services. It can escalate to borrowing money, gaining access to bank accounts, or pressuring you to change your will. Emotional manipulation involves making you feel guilty, afraid, or dependent. A manipulative caregiver might say things like, "Your family doesn't really care about you. I'm the only one who's here for you." Or, "If you don't cooperate, I might have to find another job." Isolation tactics are designed to cut you off from family and friends. This might involve scheduling activities during family visits, screening your phone calls, or telling visitors you're too tired to see them. The goal is making you dependent solely on them. Medical manipulation includes withholding or altering medications, exaggerating your symptoms to family members, or discouraging you from seeing doctors independently. Some manipulative caregivers create medical crises to seem indispensable. Physical intimidation doesn't always mean violence. It can include rough handling during care, invading your personal space, or using their physical presence to make you feel powerless. Any unwanted touching or aggressive behavior is unacceptable. Information control happens when caregivers intercept mail, monitor your communications, or make decisions about your care without consulting you. They may claim to be protecting you while actually controlling access to important information. Boundary violations start small but signal bigger problems. This includes going through your personal belongings, using your phone or computer without permission, or bringing unauthorized people into your home. Gaslighting is making you question your own memory or perception. They might say you agreed to something you don't remember, claim events happened differently than you recall, or suggest your concerns are just confusion. Remember, legitimate caregivers respect your autonomy, maintain professional boundaries, and never make you feel afraid or uncomfortable. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Your intuition is often the first alarm bell. Here are specific warning signs that should trigger immediate concern. Financial red flags. Your caregiver frequently discusses your finances or asks about your assets. Missing money, jewelry, or valuable items. Unexplained charges on credit cards or bank statements. Pressure to give loans or gifts. Suggestions about changing your will or financial arrangements. They offer to handle banking or bill paying without proper authorization. Behavioral warning signs. They become defensive or angry when questioned about their activities. Inconsistent stories about their actions or whereabouts. Reluctance to let you speak privately with family or friends. They seem to know more about your personal business than appropriate. Sudden changes in their attitude. Overly friendly or increasingly controlling. Communication control. Screening or limiting your phone calls and visitors. Reading your mail or emails without permission. Speaking for you in conversations with others. Discouraging you from maintaining relationships. Claims that family members don't want to visit or care about you. Care-related concerns. Inconsistent medication administration or missing pills. Poor hygiene care that seems intentional rather than neglectful. Refusing to follow care plans or doctor's instructions. Creating unnecessary dependence by not encouraging your independence. Making medical decisions without consulting you or your family. Emotional manipulation signs. Making you feel guilty for asking questions or expressing concerns. Threats about leaving if you don't comply with their requests. Comparing you unfavorably to other clients. Using your vulnerabilities or fears against you. Making you feel like a burden to family members. Physical indicators. Unexplained bruises, particularly on arms or wrists. Fear or anxiety when the caregiver is present. Changes in your sleep patterns or appetite. Reluctance to be left alone with them. Any form of rough handling during personal care. Trust your gut feelings. You feel walked on eggshells around them. Something feels off, but you can't pinpoint exactly what. You find yourself making excuses for their behavior. You feel more isolated or dependent since they started working. Your family expresses concerns about changes in your behavior or appearance. The most important sign. If you feel afraid, uncomfortable, or like you're losing control of your own life, these feelings are valid and deserve investigation. Manipulative caregivers count on you dismissing your concerns or feeling too embarrassed to speak up. Remember, you have the right to feel safe and respected in your own home. No caregiver should make you feel otherwise. If you suspect manipulation or abuse, documentation is crucial for protecting yourself and stopping the behavior. Here's how to create a strong record. Keep a daily log. Write down specific incidents with dates, times, and details. Include what was said, done, or observed. For example, March 15th, 3 p.m., Sarah asked to borrow $50 for groceries, said she'd pay back tomorrow. This is the third time this month. Save physical evidence. Take photos of any unexplained injuries or property damage. Keep receipts, bank statements, and financial records secure. Save text messages or emails that seem inappropriate. Document missing items with photos if possible. Secure important documents. Move financial records, medications, and valuable items to a locked box or safe location that only you can access. Consider giving copies to trusted family members. Create a support network. Identify at least 3 people you trust completely. Family members, friends, or neighbors. Share your concerns with them and ask them to check on you regularly. Who to contact for help. Adult Protective Services, APS. Your first call should be to your state's APS hotline. They investigate elder abuse and can provide immediate protection and resources. Local police. For immediate physical danger, threats, or suspected theft, call 911 or your local police non-emergency line. Your doctor. Medical professionals are mandated reporters and can document physical evidence of abuse while providing medical care. Elder law attorney. For financial exploitation or legal issues, consult with an attorney who specializes in elder law. Area Agency on Aging. These local organizations provide resources, support, and can help connect you with protective services. Reporting tips. Be specific about incidents rather than making general statements. Don't minimize what happened. Abuse often escalates. Ask for case numbers and follow up on your reports. Don't worry about proof. Investigators are trained to gather evidence. If you're afraid to report, remember that reporting abuse is not your fault, and you deserve protection. Many agencies can investigate discreetly, and there are laws protecting you from retaliation. Emergency planning. Have a safety plan including emergency contacts, important documents in a safe place, and a bag with essentials ready if you need to leave quickly. If you're currently experiencing manipulation or abuse, your safety is the top priority. Here are immediate steps you can take today. Immediate safety measures. Secure your finances. Change all passwords for bank accounts, credit cards, and online services immediately. If possible, do this when your caregiver is not present. Contact your bank to add fraud alerts and consider requiring verbal passwords for any account changes. Protect important items. Move cash, jewelry, important documents, and medications to a secure location your caregiver cannot access. Consider a safety deposit box or trusted family member's home for most valuable items. Establish communication. Set up a daily check-in with a trusted family member or friend. Create a code word that signals you need help immediately. For example, if you mention the weather is terrible, this could mean you need someone to come over right away. Document everything. Start keeping a hidden journal of all concerning incidents. Include dates, times, witnesses, and exact quotes when possible. Keep this journal secure and away from your caregiver. Create boundaries. You have the right to say no. Practice phrases like, "I'm not comfortable with that. Let me think about it," or "I'll need to discuss this with my family first." A legitimate caregiver will respect these boundaries. Limit access. Your caregiver should not have access to your bank accounts or credit cards, personal mail or email, prescription medications beyond what they're supposed to administer, your personal belongings or private spaces without permission. Emergency preparedness. Keep a phone charged and accessible at all times. Program emergency numbers including 911, Adult Protective Services, and trusted family members. Consider a medical alert device if you don't already have one. When to leave immediately. If you feel physically threatened, have been hit or roughly handled, or if someone has threatened you, leave immediately. Go to a trusted family member's home, call 911, or ask neighbors for help. Financial protection. Contact your bank about temporary account freezes if money is missing. Consider having a trusted family member added to accounts as a monitor, not a joint owner, who can watch for suspicious activity. Medical safety. If you suspect medication tampering, count your pills daily and report discrepancies to your doctor immediately. Never let anyone pressure you to change dosages or stop taking prescribed medications. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, act on that feeling. It's better to be cautious and wrong than to ignore warning signs and become a victim of serious abuse. Prevention is your best protection. Here's how to choose caregivers who will respect and protect you. Before hiring, essential checks. Professional references. Request at least 3 references from recent clients, not just employers. Call these references directly and ask specific questions. Did they respect boundaries? Would you hire them again? Did you ever have concerns about trust? Background checks. Insist on comprehensive background checks including criminal history, driving records, and employment verification. Reputable agencies provide these automatically, but private caregivers should agree to them willingly. Licensing and certification. Verify that caregivers have current certifications for their level of care. Check with your state's licensing board to ensure credentials are valid and there are no complaints on file. Interview red flags. Be cautious of caregivers who ask detailed questions about your finances during interviews, seem overly interested in your personal relationships, make promises that sound too good to be true, pressure you to make a quick decision, refuse background checks, or seem defensive about verification. Green flags. Positive signs. Look for caregivers who ask thoughtful questions about your care preferences, respect your independence and decision-making, maintain professional boundaries during interviews, provide detailed, verifiable references, show genuine interest in your well-being, not your assets, setting clear boundaries from day one, written agreements. Create a detailed care plan that outlines exactly what services the caregiver will provide, working hours, compensation, and house rules. Both parties should sign this agreement. Financial boundaries. Make it clear that financial discussions are off limits unless specifically related to care expenses you've pre-approved. Never give access to bank accounts, credit cards, or financial information. Privacy rules. Establish that personal belongings, mail, and communications are private. Caregivers should not answer your phone, read mail, or go through personal items without permission. Family involvement. Introduce your caregiver to family members and encourage regular check-ins. Let the caregiver know that family involvement is welcomed and expected. Trial period. Start with a trial period of 30 to 60 days with clearly defined expectations. This allows you to evaluate the relationship before making long-term commitments. Regular reviews. Schedule monthly check-ins to discuss how things are going, address any concerns, and make adjustments as needed. Open communication prevents small problems from becoming bigger issues. Remember, you're the employer, and you have the right to set standards and expectations for your care. Understanding your legal rights empowers you to protect yourself and seek justice if abuse occurs. Your fundamental rights. Right to dignity and respect. You have the right to be treated with respect, to make your own decisions about your care, and to have your privacy protected. Right to financial security. No one can access your finances without proper legal authorization. Theft, coercion, or unauthorized use of your money is illegal regardless of who does it. Right to physical safety. Any form of physical abuse, rough handling, or intimidation is illegal. You have the right to feel safe in your own home. Right to communication. No one can isolate you from family and friends or control your communications without your explicit consent. Legal resources available. Adult Protective Services, APS. Every state has APS programs that investigate elder abuse and provide protective services. They can remove dangerous caregivers and help you find safe alternatives. Elder law attorneys. These specialists can help with financial exploitation recovery, restraining orders, and ensuring your legal rights are protected. Many offer free consultations for abuse cases. Long-term care ombudsman. These advocates investigate complaints about care quality and can help resolve disputes with caregivers or agencies. Legal aid organizations. Many areas have legal aid specifically for seniors, providing free or low-cost legal assistance for abuse cases. Law enforcement. Financial crimes, theft, assault, and threats are criminal matters. Don't hesitate to file police reports when appropriate. Important legal documents. Power of attorney. Only give this to someone you trust completely, and understand that it can be revoked if misused. Advanced directives. Ensure these documents are stored safely and that manipulative caregivers cannot alter them. Will and estate planning. Never make changes under pressure. All modifications should be made with independent legal counsel. Evidence preservation. Keep detailed records, save communications, and document all incidents. This evidence is crucial if legal action becomes necessary. Remember, the law is on your side. Elder abuse is a serious crime, and there are people trained to help you seek justice and protection. Strong family and social connections are your best defense against caregiver manipulation. Here's how to build and maintain these protective relationships. Communicating concerns to family. Be specific. Instead of saying, "I don't like my caregiver," provide specific examples. My caregiver went through my purse yesterday and asked about my bank account. Specific incidents are harder to dismiss. Share documentation. Show family members your written log of concerning incidents. Physical evidence makes your concerns more concrete and actionable. Regular check-ins. Establish a schedule for family visits or calls that your caregiver knows about. Manipulative caregivers often try to control access to family, so consistent contact makes this difficult. Creating a support network. Multiple contacts. Don't rely on just one person. Have several family members and friends who check on you regularly and independently. Neighbor network. Build relationships with neighbors who can observe comings and goings at your home. They often notice things family members might miss. Medical team involvement. Include your doctor, pharmacist, and other healthcare providers in your support network. They can identify changes that might indicate problems. Professional connections. Maintain relationships with your banker, attorney, and other professionals who can spot financial irregularities or legal concerns. Warning signs for family to watch. Changes in you. Increased anxiety or fear. New financial concerns or requests for money. Reluctance to discuss your caregiver. Changes in appearance or hygiene. Medication discrepancies. Changes in the caregiver. Avoiding family interactions. Making excuses when family wants to visit. Seeming overly possessive or controlling. Knowing too much about private family matters. Showing expensive new purchases. Environmental changes. Missing personal items. Changes in home security or access. New people coming to the house. Unusual activity patterns. Family action steps. Unannounced visits. Occasional surprise visits can reveal problems that might be hidden during planned visits. Direct communication. Family members should feel comfortable asking the caregiver direct questions about care routines and any concerns. Professional oversight. Consider hiring a geriatric care manager to provide objective oversight of care quality. Emergency planning. Ensure family members have keys, know your schedule, and have contact information for all your healthcare providers. Remember, manipulation thrives in isolation. The more connected you remain to people who care about you, the safer you'll be. Being manipulated or abused by a trusted caregiver can have profound emotional effects. Acknowledging these impacts and actively working on healing is crucial for your well-being. Common emotional impacts. Betrayal and trust issues. When someone you trusted to care for you violates that trust, it can make you doubt your judgment and feel afraid to trust anyone again. These feelings are normal and valid. Shame and embarrassment. Many seniors feel ashamed that they fell for manipulation, but this shame is misplaced. Manipulators are skilled at exploiting trust. Being victimized is not your fault. Fear and anxiety. You might feel anxious about being alone, afraid of hiring new caregivers, or constantly worried about being taken advantage of again. This hypervigilance is a normal response to trauma. Anger and resentment. Feeling angry about what happened is healthy and appropriate. Don't suppress these feelings, but find constructive ways to process them. Depression and isolation. Abuse often leads to withdrawing from others and feeling hopeless. Professional help can be crucial if these feelings persist. Healing strategies. Acknowledge what happened. Don't minimize your experience. Elder abuse is serious, and your feelings about it are valid. Speaking your truth is the first step toward healing. Professional support. Consider counseling with a therapist who specializes in elder abuse or trauma. Many insurance plans cover mental health services, and some agencies offer free counseling for abuse survivors. Support groups. Connecting with other survivors can reduce feelings of isolation and shame. Many areas have support groups specifically for elder abuse survivors. Rebuild gradually. Don't rush back into trusting new caregivers. Take time to heal and rebuild your confidence. Start with small steps and clear boundaries. Focus on your strengths. Remember that recognizing manipulation and taking action to protect yourself shows wisdom and strength, not weakness. Restore your sense of control. Make choices. Actively participate in decisions about your care, living situation, and daily activities. Reclaiming control helps counteract the powerlessness that manipulation creates. Engage in meaningful activities. Pursue hobbies, maintain friendships, and engage in activities that bring you joy and purpose. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend in your situation. Healing takes time, and setbacks are normal. Physical self-care. Ensure you're getting proper medical care, eating well, exercising as appropriate, and getting adequate sleep. Spiritual support. If faith is important to you, Connecting with spiritual communities can provide comfort and support during healing. Creating new narratives. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are a survivor who took action to protect yourself, and that takes courage. Remember, healing is not linear, and there's no timeline for recovery. Be patient with yourself as you rebuild trust and confidence. Learning from others' experiences can help you recognize patterns and find hope. Here are real stories from seniors who experienced and overcame caregiver manipulation. Margaret's story: financial exploitation. Margaret, 78, hired Sarah as her live-in caregiver after a stroke. Initially, Sarah was helpful and kind. Gradually, she began asking to borrow small amounts of money for groceries, promising to repay Margaret from her next paycheck. It started with $20 here, $50 there, Margaret recalls. Then Sarah convinced me to add her name to my checking account for emergencies. Within 3 months, $15,000 was missing. The turning point came when Margaret's daughter noticed expensive new jewelry on Sarah during a visit. When confronted, Sarah became defensive and tried to convince Margaret that her daughter was just trying to control her money. Margaret's daughter insisted on reviewing bank statements, revealing the theft. They filed a police report, and Sarah was arrested. Margaret recovered most of her money through legal action, and now requires all financial transactions to be approved by her daughter. I learned that legitimate helpers don't ask for money or access to your accounts. Trust your family when they express concerns. Robert's story: emotional manipulation. Robert, 82, lived alone after his wife's death. His caregiver, James, seemed like a godsend initially, but James gradually began isolating Robert from his children, claiming they were too busy to visit and didn't really care about him. James would schedule my medical appointments during times when my kids usually visited, Robert explains. He'd answer my phone and tell callers I was sleeping or too sick for visitors. James also convinced Robert that his memory was failing worse than it actually was, making him doubt his own perceptions and become more dependent. The manipulation was discovered when Robert's son made an unannounced visit and found Robert alone, malnourished, and extremely depressed. James had been telling the family that Robert didn't want to see them. After James was fired, Robert's relationship with his children was gradually rebuilt through regular visits and family counseling. Isolation was the key to his control. Once I was reconnected with my family, I could see how much he had manipulated me. Helen's story: medical manipulation. Helen, 74, with diabetes, noticed her blood sugar levels were increasingly erratic despite following her medication schedule. Her caregiver, Linda, suggested that Helen's medications weren't working and that she needed stronger doses. Helen's daughter became suspicious when Linda seemed unusually knowledgeable about medication side effects and pushed for changes without consulting Helen's doctor. Investigation revealed that Linda had been giving Helen incorrect doses to create medical crises, then positioning herself as indispensable during the emergencies. Linda was selling Helen's unused medications. Helen's doctor confirmed that her medication had been tampered with, leading to Linda's arrest for endangerment and drug trafficking. Trust your body and your doctors, not someone who benefits from keeping you sick and dependent. Common threads in recovery. All 3 survivors emphasized the importance of maintaining family connections, trusting instincts when something feels wrong, and not being afraid to seek help. Each found that speaking up, despite fear and embarrassment, was the key to stopping the abuse and beginning to heal. You now have the knowledge and tools to protect yourself from caregiver manipulation. This information isn't meant to make you paranoid about everyone who helps you. It's meant to help you identify the small minority of caregivers who might try to take advantage. Remember these key points. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Your intuition is a powerful protective tool. Don't dismiss it because you might hurt someone's feelings or seem ungrateful. Maintain your independence. Good caregivers support your autonomy and encourage your independence. Anyone who tries to make you more dependent or isolated is not acting in your best interest. Stay connected. Manipulation thrives in isolation. Maintain strong connections with family, friends, neighbors, and professional support networks. You have rights. You have the right to dignity, respect, safety, and control over your own life. These rights don't disappear because you need care assistance. Help is available. If you're experiencing manipulation or abuse, you are not alone. Adult protective services, law enforcement, legal aid, and counseling services are available to help you. Prevention is powerful. By knowing what to look for and setting clear boundaries from the beginning, you can prevent most manipulation before it starts. Your action plan. Starting today, take one concrete step to protect yourself. This might be having a frank conversation with family about your current care situation, creating a daily check-in system with someone you trust, reviewing and securing your financial accounts, documenting any current concerns you have. You are not powerless. Being vulnerable or needing care doesn't make you powerless. Knowledge is power, and now you have that knowledge. Share this information. Tell other seniors about these warning signs. Share this video with friends, family members, and anyone who might benefit from this knowledge. Final thoughts. The vast majority of professional caregivers are caring, honest people who genuinely want to help you maintain your independence and quality of life. By knowing how to identify the few who aren't, you can confidently accept the help you need while protecting yourself from those who might take advantage. Your safety, dignity, and peace of mind are worth protecting. You deserve care that makes you feel supported, not vulnerable. What's one step you'll take this week to strengthen your protection against caregiver manipulation? Share in the comments below. Your experience might help protect someone else.